everybody, my name is Bennett, and today on Electric Playground will be a very special episode because I will be interviewing my uncle, Victor Lucas. Hey everybody, my name is Bennett, and today we are in Vic's basement, and I shall be interviewing Victor Lucas.
Fox, this is awesome, man.
Yeah.
This is a real honor to have you in my basement, and I can't believe you want to talk to me.
Yeah. So I have some questions here. So how did you get to this point of your life? Like, how did you join Electric Playground?
You know what? I had a dream when I was in my 20s that I wanted to do more with my life, and I loved video games very much, and I was already acting. And I wanted to think of some kind of business that I could build that would satisfy me and hopefully entertain some people. And I came up with a bunch of different ideas, but the idea that I liked the most was building a television show that was really about going behind the scenes on video games, because I felt like they were a big mystery to me and to many people out there.
And I have a little bit more questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
So then, when you were in your life, how did you like the video games? How did you unravel their mystery?
You know, it's amazing because I've been around a little while, and so I've been around basically since video games were born. And so if you can imagine this back, I don't know if your dad has shown you what old video games look like, but they're pretty terrible. They were just like squares and blocks and things. But I loved them, and I had all of those systems right back to Pong, and I had an Atari 2600. And when I played them, they brought something out in my imagination, and I made them look like Destiny looks today in my mind, you know, because I just saw the potential, and I connected with them. And I loved the arcade games that I played as well. There used to be these things called arcades, and you go and you drop a quarter and you play video games. And I love those games as well. And I had so many moments with my friends and just from my own interaction with games where there was real emotion. And as an actor, I learned to kind of, you know, trust emotion and honor emotion. And when I started to put the pitch together for what Electric Playground would be, I really kind of tapped into that idea that games are a storytelling medium that bring out emotion in us. And they needed more... They needed more coverage, and they needed more conversation. Yeah. But I've always loved video games.
Mm-hmm. Me too. And I have a little bit of another question for you.
Okay.
So when you're talking about the arcade games, what is your most favorite arcade game?
I think it's Robotron 2084, which is a classic. It was one of the first dual stick shooters, and it was created by an incredibly talented person named Eugene Jarvis, who's a kind of a legendary game developer. He created the game called Defender as well, and Smash TV. And but Robotron was one of the first games, if not the first game, to use two joysticks, one to move around and one to shoot in a bunch of different directions. And you were trying to save humanoids before these androids and these killer robots were wiping them out and converting them into other robots. And it was so fast. It's still very playable and super fun today. But another arcade game that really resonates with me is a game called Pacman. Do you know Pacman?
Yeah, there's a TV show about it.
It's so popular, right?
I know.
But Pacman, when it first came out, there was an arcade in our neighborhood in Kitsilano here in Vancouver, and it was in an arcade. It was in a pool hall that was run by a bunch of Greeks, and they used to have old Greek guys would go in there and play backgammon every day. You know, there'd been people be playing pool and some pinball, and there was Pacman suddenly appeared on the scene. And it was cool. It was one of those tabletop type of games, so you'd actually control Pac-Man and look down at the screen. Yeah. And I remember I was playing it, and I was doing okay. I was getting third screen, fourth screen, fifth screen. And then suddenly I recognized that all of the old Greek guys with their fisherman's caps had put down their backgammon game, and they were all standing around behind me watching me play Pac-Man. And when I died, they all went, "Oh!" and they all got into it. And it was a story, you know, I never forgot that moment, that all of these old men suddenly woke up to the idea, wow, this is cool. You can play like a cartoon.
Yeah. And this probably will be my last question.
Okay.
So when you played Destiny 2, were you like, this is amazing, and like, what happened in the story? Like, did you find the speaker, or like, how did you get involved? Like, did they explain some story about the Traveler?
They didn't go that deep into it. Basically, what happens at the beginning of Destiny 2? Do you know what happens in Destiny 2?
Yes or no?
Yeah, they crash into the base world. I forget what the name of the base world is. Do you remember?
The tower.
The tower. They crash into the tower and they destroy everything, and everything is devastated. And we have to fight back, and that was effectively created in this amazing cut sequence. And then we're thrust into the tower just being in ruins, and it's ashes everywhere.
Yeah,
and
just chaos. And the Cabal are now attacking the Red Legion.
Exactly.
But here's a little theory I have.
Okay.
In the Taken King,
Mm-hmm.
Probably the very last mission,
Mm-hmm.
it's about the Cabal, and we see the Cabal. And when we complete it, the ghost says, the Cabal sent a transmission to the Cabal Empire. So I feel like that's the Red Legion. And when you see the sun getting destroyed, I have a theory like it's maybe a Cabal. Maybe it's Gull's son of his planet. Like his people were like mad at him. Like
It's revenge.
Yeah, but he wiped out his planet by the Cabal, and his race was Cabal, and like no Cabal soldier has ever done. So I think that's why he's in the Cabal Empire now. He maybe wants to take back the line, like refix his plan, and make him like the new Pride King.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that I definitely recognized right away is that this feels a lot more personal, and I felt like the story telling was stronger. I think they've learned a lot since the Taken King.
Yeah.
And they've tried to build a more sort of cohesive narrative for us and characters that we care about. Because I think that was one of the main issues with the first Destiny is that it didn't really have it wasn't like Halo, right? It was too all over the place, which was great for playing it, but not always great for knowing what was going on with the story.
Yeah, but now we're gonna have like NPCs that'll actually help us. In like Halo, there's like tons of NPCs, like Marines.
Right.
Or other Spartans and Guilty Spark.
Yes.
So now, like, because like, we also see in the opening, mission, we see Zavala is like made the Defender bubble now helping us, and we see Ikor destroy this Cabal ship.
It looks.
And we don't see Cade 6, but like we see them like all like in like on planets.
I want to play as Cade 6. Why don't they let us play as those characters?
Well, I think probably just because it will just affect the story, and maybe like they have their own story. Maybe like things will happen to them, but they don't want to happen to you.
Yeah.
Because like they'll probably just be like stuck in a thing. They have to wait for like 10 minutes just to get rescued. And like no player just wants to sit in 10 minutes just waiting to do nothing.
Right, because he's such an important character.
Yeah.
Right. All right, do you think they're going to have other types of things? Like, I know they have the racing with those cool hover motorbike things. Are they going to do other types? Yeah, are they going to do other types of gameplay?
Maybe they will, but now like you see, now it's going to be 4v4, not 3v3.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's much better.
Yeah.
Right?
But we're not going to have Rumble.
Yeah.
I just started brain, but hey.
No Rumble in what? In the controller?
No,
Oh, Rumble mode. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Crucible.
Right. But if they take it away, you know what they can do is they can always bring stuff back. And they can say, now with Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart marketing. Awesome. Any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, I have one for you.
Yeah.
Why is Iron Man your favorite superhero?
Probably since the very beginning of my life, when I could speak and like actually like memorize stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was when I saw the first Iron Man movie, I was like, Iron Man for all my Halloween for 3 years, just Iron Man for 3 years, Iron Man. I said to my mom, and my mom's like, "Are you sure you want to be Iron Man?" I was like, "Yes, I want to be Iron Man." And I liked Iron Man because like I wanted to be a scientist. Because kids, they just usually want to be like firemen or policemen or like mailmen or like their regular jobs.
Yes.
But I wanted to be a scientist, and that's like a huge job to do because you actually have to study a lot. And I'm studying like it's like all the subjects that you learn in school, like math, fractions, spelling, and like coding. It's like everything, because like fireman is just like strategy, like how you're gonna put out the fire? Are you going to save the people first, then put out the fire? Or are you going to put out the fire, then save the people? It's like strategy. Middleman's just like, give the note. Boom, 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 boom. And, well, policemen just like make sure the world is safe, like your town is safe.
Yes.
But scientists is like, they do basically almost everything. They make the cures.
Mm-hmm.
They fix diseases. They make the engineer. They also make sometimes weapons just for policemen to use. Like maybe a new taser that tases a person, like knocks them out for 3 days.
Well, I think the other thing about being a scientist is that it opens you up to working in any kind of field that you can kind of ever want to go into after that, right?
Yeah, and school also like teaches you like how to work with people, like other people, and scientists have to work with a lot of people because they have to like tell their teammates like what to do, like get me that thing and get me this iron socket, and well,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you want to build your own iron suit maybe one day?
Not exactly.
Maybe exosuits for everybody so they can lift big things?
I'll probably build the exosuit.
Yeah.
Exosuit is probably my first thing I would build because, well, there's hard duties in the world. There's really hard duties.
Well, and there's a lot of people working on that kind of stuff right now too, which is so cool. And you met Iron Man, I heard? You met Robert Downey Jr.? Mm-hmm. Where did you meet him?
I meet him in California, near Malibu Beach. He was just walking with his wife, like just usual. And my dad said, "Hey, Fox, that's Iron Man." I was like, "No, you're kidding." And like he was like, "Yeah, it is." And I was like, "Oh my god." I was just like I was like 6 by then, and I was just like.
How was he? Was he a nice guy?
Yeah, he was really nice, and I was like, "Wow, I can't believe I even met him." And he told me a secret of Captain America Civil War, and told me about, I think you said Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said Black Panther's going to be in Captain America Civil War?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And like no one knew that.
That's awesome.
So I knew it before it even came out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is an incredible story.
Well, I think that wraps up all my questions and your questions.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You definitely need to be a scientist, but can you also save a little bit of time in your life to do this more because you're really good at it?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to my basement.
Yeah. And that is it for Lecture Playground. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next time.